Welcome everyone, this is DC Daily Buzz, and today we're discussing the slate for all the upcoming DC projects and the upcoming ones, but we don't have any official announcement from the studio yet. So we all know that for the upcoming year, 2021, we're going to be having the Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman, we're going to be having Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, and James Gunn's Suicide Squad. And followed by that, in 2022, we're going to be having the sequel year, and the reason I'm calling it the sequel year is because there won't be any new characters debuting. In fact, it's all sequels to previous movies, including Shazam, Aquaman, and The Flash is going to be finally getting his own solo movie, The Flashpoint. Now, it's been confirmed that it's going to go for the Flashpoint storyline from the comics. Anyway, so 2023, what does this year have to offer for us, the DC fans? What is Warner Bros. Planning on doing for this year and for 2024? So I'm going to be doing speculations here, and there is no evidence, but we already had an official word from the studio, from Warner Bros. Themselves, that they're working on a variety of projects now, big DC names. They're still in the production process. There still might be in the writing process. Who knows? But currently at the moment, what we can do is kind of predict somehow. But still, there's no evidence, but that's kind of more me putting perspectives on the table, So I gotta say, if you remember back in summer 2018, it was already announced that Warner Bros. Is working on a solo Supergirl movie. Now, followed kind of, it's not a year, but last year, I think it was May or April 2019, Warner Bros. Was like, we're still going forward with the project, we're still working on it, and we were expected to be hearing any casting during summer 2019. That didn't happen. Now, this year, Warner Bros. Decided that they don't want to focus on the solo Supergirl movie. Instead, they'll be shifting their focus on Henry Cavill's Superman as their top priority. Now, I don't know. It's either the studio will be doing the solo Supergirl movie with Superman being in it. And by the way, last year it was mentioned on many of our articles, as far as I remember, that the studio wants Superman to be in the solo Supergirl movie. Now listen, I hope I'm proven wrong here. I hope I'm wrong. But 3 weeks ago, a month ago, Warner Bros. Came out and they said that there's no plans for any Man of Steel sequel because they don't know how to make Superman's character relatable to the modern audiences. Now, whether we want to discuss this statement, because I think it's completely reckless out of the studio and it's just pointless. We could have just came up with a better excuse. Anyways, the studio doesn't want to do any Superman movies at the moment. They want to feature him with cameos and, as like a co-star in upcoming movie projects. Anyways, that's not our topic here. So if Henry Cavill still has the cape, if he's still donning the cape as Superman, and if the studio's still willing to go forward with the solo Supergirl movie, then I'm telling you folks, 2023 might have the solo Supergirl movie with Henry Cavill Superman in it. Now, Warner Bros. Already officially revealed years ago that they're working on a New Gods movie. There is also a Batgirl movie. We're not sure if it's set inside the DCEU yet, or it's going to be set in Matt Reeves' universe, Batman universe. And there was a lot of negotiations on working on a Nightwing movie in the studio too. But since the character's kind of glowing on the small screen on Titans, I don't think it will be happening anytime soon, because this is not the CW. This is more like the writers at DC writing Titans. So I think the Nightwing movie might happen by the time Titans gets canceled, or just maybe. We've already heard a lot of rumors about Brenton Thwaites. He's willing to leave Titans. He wants to be written off. So if there's any possibility, this might happen, which I wish doesn't. I hope it doesn't. But if this happens, I feel like by that time the Nightwing movie would happen. Now listen, I hope all the Batman movies and all the characters related would really happen inside Matt Reeves' universe. I know this isn't fair for the DCEU because we haven't had any Batman movie or any related Batman character inside the DCEU. But again, whether you're a huge Snyder fan or not, you gotta admit that at some point he kind of screwed up with Batman's character. Killing Dick Grayson killing Dick Grayson in Batman versus Superman. We have no clue where Jason Todd is. No brief mentions. No brief cameos. Where's Barbara Gordon? Where's Stephanie Brown? Where's Jason Todd? Where's Tim Drake? All these characters are missing. They're not mentioned at all. We all know that they exist, but where are they? So he kind of screwed up with Batman's character. So I gotta say, if the studio is planning on doing a Batgirl solo movie and a Nightwing solo movie, I hope that they introduce Nightwing and Batgirl in any Batman sequel, leading to their own solo movies. The DCEU should stick with the other characters outside the Bat family. I might be turned wrong. Maybe the DCEU would portray their characters better, but I feel like a connected, shared Batman universe for all the Batman, for all the Bat family, and all the characters related, all in one place by the same runner, the same director, is kind of the better idea. Now, let's go on with discussing the main topic, which is what does 2023 has to offer for all the DC fans when it comes to movies. So I said that the Supergirl solo movie might be happening this year. I'm gonna go for the New Gods. Now, Darkseid, I'm not sure if you really follow me, but I'm a huge fan of the New Gods, Apocalypse and New Genesis. I think those are one of the most incredible storylines from the comics. As much as I would love to see it, I feel like the right people must be hired to run the movies. Now, I think we already have a writer for that, or a director, I'm not sure, and I think it's a she. And I think I'm excited for this. It's actually new. So I gotta say the New Gods movie might be happening sometime in 2023/2024. Now, listen, also I can't really base off the solo Supergirl movie based on what the studio said, because there's a lot of rumors about the Flashpoint movie, the Flash movie in 2022. There's a lot of rumors stating that it will be rebooting the DCEU. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not. Hopefully it won't, because I feel like it's way too early. There's a lot of other characters that needs to be introduced. And also, just by the way, when it comes to the New Gods movie, I'm really looking forward for, a lot of things to be done in this movie. There's tons of shitless ideas they can do on this in this movie. So I gotta say, I'm really hyped for a solo Supergirl movie, but featuring Henry Cavill's Superman is a big part. And also, I'm going to be doing a video on what can they really do with this movie, and even with the New Gods movie. I also mentioned Batgirl and Nightwing movies. Now, we're not sure if the studio is planning on keeping these characters inside the DCEU. Now, Dick Grayson is dead, so it's going to be Barbara Gordon inside the DCEU. I feel like the absence of Batman is going to be terrible, because where the hell is Batman? We all know that Ben Affleck quit. He doesn't want to return to the role again. The studio might convince him to return back eventually, who knows? But currently at the moment, Ben Affleck wants to be written out. So I feel like the Batgirl movie inside the DCU is just a mistake. We're going to be having another Commissioner Gordon, because she's Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and Commissioner Gordon is already inside Matt Reeves' universe. So I feel like having alternate versions of the characters is going to ruin the box office. People are not going to be enjoying seeing two different versions and which one should which one is better, or which one should we like, or blah, blah, blah. There will be a lot of differences in the writing, because different people are going to be hired to write each project. So I hope they change their decision when it comes to the Batgirl movie. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Batgirl, so I don't really mind if the movie's done or not. I feel like Batgirl is more of the character that should be the sidekick in the movies. Just like Nightwing. I'm a hard-ass Nightwing fan. I freaking love Nightwing, and you know that. But I gotta say, I feel like a solo, maybe not a solo movie, but a movie starring Nightwing and Batgirl teaming up with Batman being in the picture, but not as the main protagonist, would be an awesome idea. I love the concept. But giving the sidekicks like Nightwing a movie, Batgirl a movie, and also there's Supergirl, which also happens to be a sidekick, a movie, I feel like it's really shifting the main spotlight, the main focus from the bigger names, from the bigger characters. And we all know that the fandoms and the fans are interested more in the bigger characters. The leaguers, more to say, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow. We're not really interested Actually, we're interested, but we're interested more into in the bigger names. Anyway, so what? Okay, so let's say 2023 might feature the solo Supergirl, the New Gods, and a Nightwing solo or a Batgirl solo. What's next? Now, Patty Jenkins revealed that she has plans for a third Wonder Woman movie. The studio revealed that they're working on an Amazon spin-off, and it's also going to be written, or I think produced or written, I can't remember, by Jeff Johns. So I think the Amazon's movie would be happening sometime in 2024. Now, you know that Wonder Woman is my favorite comic book character, but I'm not digging the whole Amazon spin-off idea. I mean, what can you do? Now, I think for sure it's going to be set in the past, with all the gods and blah blah blah. I think it's awesome, but I feel like it should be tackled maybe in a Wonder Woman sequel or in a Justice League sequel. I feel like giving the Amazons a movie, I don't know. I don't feel like it's really enough, because Wonder Woman, I highly doubt Wonder Woman is going to be born. Or at least she's not going to be Wonder Woman during this time for sure. So I'm not sure if people are going to be really interested in seeing that. It doesn't have any big DC character name. But anyways, it's not about the names as much as if the movie's actually good and rich with the great elements that all the fans are looking forward to. But I feel like the Amazon spin-off movie is not what we really need in the DCEU. Now, speaking of spin-offs, it was already revealed back, I think, in 2019 that Warner Bros. Is also working on a Trench movie. Trench debuted in Aquaman in 2018. So I'm not sure. Also, I feel like this is completely insignificant to the DCEU, just like the Amazon. So I feel like this movie might be happening sometime also in 2024 or maybe 2023. Who knows? Because they've been working on this for 2 years now, maybe. Not working, but they're kind of discussing and thinking about doing the movie. So we'll see. So that's it, you guys. This is me predicting, what the studio gave us, what titles they're going to be working in the future with, and when do I think they're going to be releasing and working on these movies. I just hope that the Nightwing and the Batgirl movies merge into Matt Reeves' universe, and they don't really go with solos as much as write them all in a movie, in a Bat Family movie, where they all have the same screen time and, the main antagonist, with the same, great elements that we always enjoy in the Batman movies. I don't feel like a Nightwing solo and the Batgirl solo are going to be really necessary at the moment. I feel like, that I freaking love Nightwing, but I feel like give him, let him debut first in Matt Reeves' universe, then you might discuss the solo movie. But I feel like the sidekicks should always belong with the main protagonists. But again, I know I mentioned that I want a Supergirl solo. That's because the studio obviously doesn't want to do any Man of Steel sequel. Now, let's cross fingers they all change their decisions, And at the end, this is just me speculating, There isn't really, those evidence that you can really rely on. At the end, it's all about what Warner Bros. And now AT&T is in the picture, so I feel like they're really doing a lot of changes to the movies. The DCU is going to be completely different. Anyways, that's it, you guys. You can also follow me on Instagram at DC Daily Buzz. This is me signing off.